So a while back, I did a 30-day challenge posting shorts every single day, and the results were lacking. But I wasn't giving up yet because I realized how powerful shorts can be if you do them the right way. But first, we gotta know what not to do. Number 1, don't repost. That's it. And the right way can mean a lot of things. You can leverage big names like Porzingis. You can post on trending topics like Kim Kardashian's plastic surgery. You can post on huge news like Elon Musk buying Twitter. So now that we have our topics, what's next? Content strategy. And there are 2 ways to go about this. Number 1, use existing content. This can work for interviews, for podcasts, or even sports highlights. Number 2, use existing plus custom content. This can mean adding a script, adding a voiceover, adding stock footage. And this is my favorite because not everybody is willing to put in the extra effort. So in a way, there's less competition. And now that we have our strategy, we can focus on editing. And there are 2 ways to go about this. Number 1, you could do it yourself. And if you want to learn how to do it, be sure to watch the next video. Number 2, you can hire somebody to do it for you. And if you want to know more about this, then keep watching. Hiring. This can be a bit tricky if this is your first time hiring, but finding the right person is the most important part. So be sure to take your time on this one. And some sites you can use can be Freelancer, Upwork, onlinejobs.ph. And I like to take the hiring process in 3 stages. Stage 1, job posts. This one is pretty obvious, but some things to remember are be transparent. No one likes dealing with somebody who's hiding information, so when you post your job, be sure to let them know what's expected from them and what they can expect from you. Pre-screen. This can help filter out the bad candidates from the good ones. And the way I did this the first time was to go ahead and include a Google form that was mandatory to fill out. Those who filled it out were considered, and those who didn't were immediately rejected. I know this sounds kind of harsh, but when you think about it, if somebody can't follow directions, would you want that person working for you? Stage 2. Screening. By now you probably have a good candidate, but before anything you want to make sure you ask for a sample. So give them some sort of direction and give them examples so they know what to model. And if they refuse to make a sample, then that's not somebody I want to work with. And after reviewing the sample, that's when you can make your final decision. And keep in mind, the sample is never going to be perfect, but as long as it has most of what you're looking for, then that's fine. And I want to emphasize that the most important thing when hiring the right person is not just for their talent, but also for their commitment. I'd rather have somebody who has 75% of what I'm looking for, but shows qualities in innovation, teamwork, willing to improve, rather than somebody who does 95% of what I'm looking for, but shows no creativity, innovation, or doesn't follow directions afterwards. Posting. So now that you have your videos done, it's finally time to post. And the least important thing you should be worrying about is what time you should schedule these posts. There's no reason to stress about that, especially when your channel is new and you're just trying to grow. As far as quantity goes, I'd focus on posting multiple times a day. This way you can find 99 things that don't work and 1 thing that doesn't, and then replicate it over and over again. Expectations. You can expect to post 1 video and then for it to instantly go viral. That's just not how life works. And I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying to be realistic and don't get disappointed if you post 10 videos and the most views you get are 7. You have to keep posting and posting, but most importantly, keep innovating. Maybe try a different format, try different music, try a different hook, try a different script, try different background music. You just have to keep trying and trying different things until you finally see what works. You might even have to try a different niche, but in the end, it's all about testing out different things and seeing what works. Analytics. This is probably the most important but most boring part. YouTube gives so much information in the back end. You can see click-through rate, average view duration, traffic sources, unique viewers, impression, and so much more, and it can get a little overwhelming. But to make it as simple as possible, here's what I like to focus on. Number 1, average percentage viewed. To get here, click on video, click on analytics, click on engagement, scroll down, and you can see your average view percentage. And right off the bat, I can tell if the video has potential or not. For shorts, if you have over 100% average view duration, that means you hooked the viewer enough to keep watching and watching again. And you probably used a loop strategy to go ahead and get them to watch the video twice. Of course, this changes depending on how long your video is, but a good rule of thumb is if your video is under 15 seconds, then aim for over 100%. And if your video had horrible retention, then maybe something's wrong with your hook. Go back and change that. If you keep seeing horrible retention, then maybe it's your script. Go back and change that. If you keep seeing horrible retention, then maybe it's your audio quality. Go back and change that. I think you know where I'm going with this, and what I'm trying to say is always keep changing and always keep innovating. And if you manage to get solid retention but the views aren't there, maybe it's the niche altogether. Maybe there's just not enough people interested in that topic, and maybe that audience size is too small for that niche. And from there, you decide what you want to do. Number 2, never stop learning.